This video is brought to you by my lovely patrons over on Patreon. I'd like to give a huge shout out to Annina, Clay, Mariah, Maddie, Italy Stray, Thomas, Tara, Zoe, Zuzia, Ainsley, Sabine, Jimma, Bailey, Azzy, Jacqueline, Monica, Jordan, Green, Lizzie, Willow, Danny, Blessing Avery, Maddie, Alexia, B, Max, T, Taylor, M, Lovely, Antonina, Anna, Valen, Ali, Obsessed, Brianna, Nicole, Carnations, Kristen, Tequila, Autumn, Emily, Sarah, Vanessa, Nini, Nura, Matcha, Ava, Yasmin, Leah, Kaylee, Ali, Ginny, Vika, Inez, June, Elizabeth, Penguin, Sammy, Roland, Rose, Lydia, Mila, Adrian, Lexi, Benna, Chi, Madison, Beck, Jemiah, Mads, Rachel, Daisy, Honeybee, Jade, Hooves, Rose, Alyssa, Cadence, Sponge, AJ, Kate, Jay, Praxid, Nicole, Terry, and Holla. If you would like to support the channel and get some pretty cool perks such as exclusive weekly audios and novel readings, the link is in the description. Well, you were right. That was way better than I expected. I didn't know you were able to have that good of a pick, honestly. You know, you usually see that Gravitas Ventures logo at the beginning, and I am feeling like I'm nodding for a good time, but you know, that one was actually pretty solid. And that song at the end for his mom, golly, it's just so, like, impactful, you know? And you're asleep. And you are literally laying on top of me, so there is no way that I'm going to get you off, so I have to just come to terms with the fact that I am in this position for the rest of the night. Alright, I can do that. I can do that for sure. You never cease to amaze me, though, you know? You choose the movie, and every single time you fall asleep. And you're always so excited for it, you know? It's crazy. I guess, to be honest, that's an admirable trait. I wish I was that heavy of a sleeper, but I'm not. I guess it's one of the things that I appreciate about you, though. If that's, like, even quantifiable amongst all of the other things that I appreciate about you, which are practically infinite. It's getting harder, you know? It's getting more difficult to just sit here and pretend that nothing's changed. It feels like I'm putting on a facade in front of you. And I know I'm not, because it's just, if I told you how I felt, how I would be acting, would be how I'm acting now, but there's just that added piece of information that you aren't aware of yet. But God, it's never the right time. You know, I always used to get on people who would say that it's never the right time to bring up an important subject in their life to someone that they care about. And I'd say, you know what, if you really care about that person, you will make the time to have the conversation about this subject. And I guess I'm not one to talk anymore. I can't do it, man. I wish I could. I don't even know what would happen, but I know that it wouldn't be anything but a positive outcome, because either way, I tell you how I feel and I get that off my chest, and you say you don't feel the same way, and we go back to being friends. Or I tell you how I feel and I get it off my chest and you feel the same way as me, and then we move on in that capacity. But I don't know. There's a part of me that is so irrational that is just telling me that there's this third option that I know doesn't exist. I know that there is no chance that you would just give up on our friendship if I told you how I felt and you didn't feel the same way. But I guess my fear of losing you in any capacity in my life is overwhelming all of the rational thoughts in my head. It is overwhelming all of the logic that I think through every single night. And that's the thing, right? This isn't just something that comes up every now and then, or even every time we hang out, which to be fair is like at least every other day. But it's every night I go to sleep and I think about how much I wish I was going to sleep with you. Not in that way, obviously. I'm not trying to insinuate anything there, but just in the I even like pillow talk with myself sometimes, pretending that it's you, which I know is kind of weird and a little bit like kooky or whatever you want to call it, but that is truly how down bad I am, I guess. And it's so weird because I'm saying it to you right now. I know you're asleep, but you're right here and I'm looking at you and you're just so beautiful. And I should be nervous, but I'm not. And I know that once I initiate the conversation, it's not going to be a difficult conversation to get through. But that original initiation is, I just can't get over that hump. And part of it is, I guess, but when I initiate that conversation, I need to be super duper duper sure about what I'm saying and how I feel. And I don't know if I'm willing to admit to myself how deep I am in this hole. Like whenever I refer to this to myself and I'm up all night thinking about it, I think about how much I like you and how much I would like to start a relationship with you and how great of a relationship I think we would have. But eventually, after a very long time of me telling myself that I like you and pontificating over how I am going to divulge that information or how I'm even going to approach divulging that information, the like always, and I mean always because I keep track, slips into love. And I think that's the most terrifying thing about it. All of the other things that I've mentioned are very scary, and obviously we love each other. I've told you how much I love you. You tell me how much you love me because we are best friends and we care about each other and what happens to each other. We've known each other for a decade plus and we've built this foundation longer than any other relationship we've really ever had with someone, or friendship. I tend to refer to because it's a relationship. It is a relationship, but it's not a romantic relationship. But I know what that love means. And that love doesn't mean love, I guess. I try to convince myself that that's what it is whenever I mention it. And I say, I'm just so used to saying that I love you because I tell you every day when you leave or when I leave or on the phone or over text. But it's really in love. And that's kind of a crazy thing to say. Usually couples go through a significant portion of time where they're together in that way before they are in love with each other. But I know how I feel. And I know that I'm in love with you. And I guess maybe I'm a little weak in that way, and maybe being a little bit selfish because I know that we will go back to being friends if you aren't into me that way. And I know I'll be fine with it eventually. I'm not going to be fine with it right away, and I know that I'm going to feel hurt, and it's not your fault that I'm going to feel hurt, but you're the first person I've ever been in love with, so I guess there's that terror of having to come to that realization, so maybe I can convince myself to live with that thought of isn't she for long enough for it to both drive me crazy, but for the answer to never be divulged. Maybe we'll have a friendship breakup, or maybe you'll come around and you'll ask me, or maybe we'll just gradually grow apart, but that's not what I want, obviously. And so it's really hard. I don't necessarily know how to continue on, because I know I have to say it. It's building up inside of me to the point where I've actually caught myself on multiple occasions, and you will know this, saying, hey, we need to talk. And then, of course, I will chicken out and just go to something like, oh, hey, what food do you want to get tonight? That's what we need to talk about. It's totally not something that could alter the entire timeline of our friendship, relationship, whatever it's going to be. And it's scary. But the one thing that I've always felt around you is brave. You give me the courage to be the person that I am and want to be because of how much you appreciate the person that I am and want to be. And that's one of the greatest gifts that I've ever been given, especially growing up in a place where that wasn't necessarily encouraged. You found me, and I know I wouldn't be the person that I am right now if it wasn't for you encouraging me to be myself. And I'm like so eternally grateful for that, So it all just tries to balance itself out. Do I tell you I'm in love with you, or do I let the terror win? And I think that in love side is finally outweighing the other side. So I have decided that tomorrow I'm going to tell you. It is going to be one of the most difficult things that I have ever done. But I'm going to tell you that I am in love with you, and I am not going to be afraid. And whatever the outcome may be, I am going to be here for you until the end of time. And I'm going to be the best, whatever you want me to be, to you that I can be. Whether that be the best friend that I can be for you, or the best boyfriend that I can be for you, or the best husband that I can be for you. That's another thing. I never thought I would even entertain the idea of being married. And I know you'll remember the caveat is unless I am absolutely 100% sure that the person that I'm marrying is the person that I want to spend the rest of my life with, and there are no doubts in my mind. So do I even need to say it? Yeah, that's how I feel about you. If you feel the same way about me, there's just no doubt in my mind that I want to be with you forever. I want to see you grow as a person. I want you to see me grow as a person. And I want us to grow together. And I want I want all of the things with you that I never thought I wanted. I want that, idyllic, or at least what, media would consider idyllic. I want the house with the white picket fence. I want the kids, which is insane. I never thought I wanted kids, but I don't know. Here we are. And when I first started having these thoughts, I thought it's just irrational. They're irrational thoughts, but they're not. I know you would be a great mother. I know you would be a wonderful person to navigate our lives together with. Like, we work well together financially whenever we're like setting up like friend group vacations. We always manage to like work on the budget well together. There's a reason why they assign us to that. I don't know, everything just makes sense when I'm with you. And so I am committing to doing that tomorrow, and I hope that it goes well because I love you. Okay. So, interesting. The eyes are open. The eyes are open. The eyes are opened. And they happened to be opened just 5 seconds ago. So the question now becomes, because you're not saying anything, did you hear everything that I just said after the movie ended, or are you just awakening from a fresh slumber? And please tell me it is the latter, so I don't have to become an ostrich and shove my head in between these couch cushions, please. No, of course, because that would be too easy. You are literally, this is first of all revelatory. You are the heaviest sleeper in the world. And like, I swear you were definitely asleep in the middle of the movie and then woke up, and then I just figured you fell asleep again. So, freaking out? I'm not freaking out. No, that would be ridiculous to insinuate that you heard the most vulnerable monologue I've ever given to anyone ever, including me, including my internal monologue. So no, yeah, I'm not freaking out because of that. I'm totally fine. My hands aren't shaking. Well, this definitely complicates me. Complicates things, because if you are looking to shoot me down right now, picking up my hand and tracing your fingers over it like that, that's not gonna bode well for me not being absolutely enamored with you. So well, I did just spend literally, I don't know how long, spilling my guts to you. So if you feel inclined to return the favor, please do. Go ahead. Yeah. Huh. I don't know. I guess you can call me the worst driver on the road because I am very bad at seeing signals. I don't know. I tried, but part of the reason you love me is because of the puns. And actually, speaking of, since you've now confirmed that you feel the same way about me, and I know you heard everything, does that mean that but like in huh, wow. uh Oh man, I must look like an absolute bozo. I can feel the corners of my mouth stretching to their absolute limits, but I can't help it. Yeah, go ahead. I want to get, there's no way this can get any crazier, but go ahead. Okay, I guess I was wrong. I guess it can't get crazier. That is quite the coincidence. Either that's quite the coincidence that you were going to tell me tomorrow as well, or that is 100% an indicator that this is faith. Or fate, not faith. Yeah, what's up? Right now? I don't know. A little bit soon to do it, right? We haven't even had our first date. But to be fair, we did just admit that we were in love with each other, so I guess now is probably a better time than any, right? Wow. Uh, did you think it was going to be that spectacular? Or, because like me, I was, oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. That is, I don't know. I don't know how to feel. That's crazy. You see the whole silly montages when like a couple kiss each other and it's like fireworks everywhere. And it's like, there's no way it ever feels like that. And I guess I was wrong. Because, okay, thank you. Thank you. So I'm not crazy. Very, very good to hear. So I know there's like no way to transition back to a normal conversation after this, but do you want to perhaps watch another movie? It's only 9 and we, don't have work tomorrow, so and then maybe we can go to bed, and then when we wake up in the morning, we can decide what we want to do for our first date. I think that it sounds perfect as well. Okay, you know what? You can choose, but you have to promise you don't fall asleep on me. No, but this is a habit, regardless of whether it's true or not here at the end. It's a habit. You do choose these movies and fall asleep on me, and then I want to talk to you about the movies, and you don't remember the whole second half of the movie, and that's just kind of ridiculous, don't you think?